feels so good out here. I can't even think straight. I think if you want to end your suffering, you have to detach yourself from any expectations. I think a lot of expectations are tied to your fear and your doubt and things that you've been conditioned with. So you only expect what you think is possible, and you don't believe that you are limitless. But anything is possible. Nothing is impossible if you believe it's for you and it's true for you. When you try so hard to stay connected to something that you are not connected to, you are out of alignment, you are out of place, and your body reacts to that. You suffer when you don't grow. You suffer when you stay stagnant. These are my 3 quotes for 2026, and since it's like the 6-month mark on this year, I can confirm that it does work, and I'll give examples. My first one was decisions are portals. I think every time you make any type of decision, it connects you to a different journey for a different destination. And I think things are aligned for you, things are made for you. But I also believe that you never know what decision you have may lead you to somewhere else. I think every single time you make a decision and it's an intentional decision, it leads you closer to what you're aligned with, closer to what you're destined to. And I know I talk about this book all the time, but I'm reading it throughout this year, 365 Days with Discipline by Martin Meadows. It's such a good book, by the way. But that's something I'm learning from that book, is that you need to be disciplined within your decisions, whether you want instant gratification or you want something that's really going to lead you to where you need to be. And it also teaches about detachment when it comes to discipline and not attaching yourself to the version you expect yourself to be and how things are limitless for you. It helps me with being less reactive and being less offended and emotional but less sensitive, if that makes sense, because I think each decision, even in how you respond to others, mistreatment, greatness, whatever you're like responding to has to be very intentional. And I think when you practice being intentional with yourself, your decisions reflect that, and it won't even feel like you're doing it. It'll feel like this is my natural reaction. I also think that since making very intentional decisions, because I know they lead somewhere, I have been a lot more regulated because I am comfortable with myself and connected with myself enough and in tune with myself enough to know that I made the correct decision for myself and for those around me, and I made the correct decision for my environment and who I am as a person. And so because I am practicing that intentional decision making, I have become more in tune with myself and knowing, since I was so intentional with that and that worked out, I know how to respond the next time. And I'm grateful for that. It really has changed my life over the last 6 months on how I speak to myself, how I speak to others, how I move, my work ethic. Every decision is so intentional, and I think now it just feels relaxed to me, like it feels like it's in me. Another quote is that I am limitless. Nothing is impossible. I think when you grow up in a chaotic home or you've experienced a lot of trauma, you believe that there's this impending doom on you. You believe that you're not supposed to reach certain heights. And I think we believe that because it's conditioned in us that if we hustle, and we stay in survival mode. But those of us that have already been through that as children, that's something we want to get away from. So trying to learn that balance between survival mode and grind, work ethic and motivation, and a healthy, steady balance, it can become very exhausting. And I think the further we are into survival mode and staying stagnant with no change and keeping us in so much like stress, like I think that that's linked to us believing we don't deserve abundance, and through that only limited things are possible for us because that's all we've seen. And I feel like when you're hit with so much in your 20s, you believe that you're not getting anywhere. You believe that things aren't working out for you. You believe that there's impending doom. You feel like people are more successful than you. Then there's so much constantly all the time about what you're thinking. And I think you should always know it doesn't matter how hard you hustle, how hard you grind. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing will come true. And the only thing you need in order for anything to come true is your belief. It's literally just your belief. I grew up Christian, so something that I always remember, something in Sunday school they used to always say, have faith, and that you only need faith as small as a mustard seed. And they'd show us a mustard seed each time and be like, this is how small you need faith. And of course that was within being like Christian and God, but I also believe that you should use that for yourself. You really only need a little bit of belief, that little bit of motivation. Every 1% you do every single day, it brings you closer to your destination. And you don't have to believe you're the biggest right now, but believe that you're going to be the biggest one day. And I think when you instill that type of love into yourself, everything feels like it can just be. Everything comes true. If you have this mindset for yourself, if you have this mindset of anything is possible for me, you are gravitating towards so much abundance. Like, it's exuding off of you. It has no choice but to attract to you, because that's what you are. You are aligning in the same frequency as whatever abundance or prosperity you are praying for. Like, it's exuding off of you. It's right there. You're glowing with it. And once I learned that, I started believing nothing is impossible for me. I can do anything. I can be anything. I can feel anything. I can be anyone. Like, I can do anything I want to do. Whatever woman I want to be, I can be that woman. Nothing is out of reach. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is impossible. And you got to believe this is your shit. You have to believe this is your shit. I know I talked about this quote. This is the third one. I'm pretty sure, I think. Being intentional is something that I have as my number one. Like, being intentional, everything is possible for me. Decisions are portals, but being intentional, every single time I think something has like pushed my buttons beyond the button, they didn't broke the fucking button, I have had to sit with myself and think about everything that I've gained in the past 6 months and how much I'm willing to lose it. What will this, like, I have to sit down, I have to sit, and I always say, anytime I'm dysregulated, I sit in a bath. Like, I have to sit in water, I have to let the shower run on me. And I was literally sitting in the bath the other day because something was really bothering me, like, it was so much anxiety and so much anger that I had, and I really had to choose how I wanted to respond. And I had to choose if I even wanted to respond. And I think that if this was me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have wreaked havoc for myself, the person's mom. Like, I don't care who it is, but I have to care. I have to care. I don't necessarily have to care about the situation, but I have to care, because I care about myself, and I care about what I want, and I care about what I'm building for myself. And I truly have been believing that if I respond to everything, especially in the moment when emotions are high, I will never get to where I want to be in life. I will never enter the rooms I want to enter, because everything will offend me and everything will exhaust me, and I have to be stronger than that. And yes, sometimes people deserve to get cussed out. Like, sometimes people do deserve that. Sometimes like, people and things are playing with you, and you don't need that. But I used to need that. I don't need that no more. I don't need that anymore. And I think it's because of how much I've built. Like, I just went on my first brand trip. I went on a second brand trip. I've been able to travel as I please. I just got signed to a talent agency. I have my EP coming out soon. I have my art exhibition coming up in September. There's so much that I cannot lose based off this reaction. And I'm an adult now. I'm an adult, and doing certain things will give you certain consequences, and I don't want those consequences. It puts you in a certain energy. And it's also like, if I respond to this, what the fuck else am I going to respond to? I'm so easily provoked. I'm so easily angered. What else am I going to respond to in this way? If I'm talking to someone that's important and I need to take my future somewhere and they say something that I don't like, am I going to respond this way? So I think practicing right now how intentional I am with my emotions and who I am as a young woman is very important to me. And I can seem like however I seem, because in my mind I'm like, is this person trying to bitch me? It's exactly how I feel in that moment, but it's like, it's not that serious. And how I like to think of it is, this is the biggest drama you'll ever have. This is the biggest shit for your life. This isn't the biggest shit for my life, but that's truly how you have to respond to stuff when it comes to your emotions. Being intentional with your emotions. Truly think about who you're arguing with. Think about what you're competing with. Think about what you're trying to lead, whether that's relationship, job, friends, anything in your life. Truly think about what and who you're responding to. Like, think about what you're doing and think about if it's even worth it. And in that moment, you'll be feeling emotions like, I'm being bitched, I'm being played with, I deserve better than this is not my worth, I should leave here, I don't need this, I fuck this job. Like, you'll be feeling so much. But truly think about how you're reacting and how you're teaching your body to regulate when it hears shit or feels shit that is not for them. Are you able to walk away and then do your own shit and decondition and love yourself enough to heal yourself? Or are you going to sit there and endure that? Are you going to entertain that? Like I said, sometimes shit needs to be entertained, because some people just do need that. Like, some things just do need, sometimes it is. But I don't think it's every time. I think you should pick your battles very wisely when it comes to everything. And that's not just with people and things. Like, let's take food, for example. If, like, you know you're trying to reach a certain, because I'm still on 75 hard, y'all. I've been going great. I lost 25 pounds. I feel like when let's say you're trying to lose weight, like take me for example, like I have a thing for ice cream, but I can't eat ice cream all the time, like whole milk, right? I can't do that, but I can eat vegan ice cream. But they got this one flavor at Jenny's, and I'm like, I need it. And I really had to think about if, and it wasn't one of my cheat days either. So I was like, I really had to think about if I wanted this, because I'm always down for ice cream time, okay? I miss ice cream queen. I love ice cream any time of the day. You could wake me up at 2 a.m. You want some ice cream? Of course I want some ice cream. Like, I will always want ice cream. But I had to think about if this would be worth it in this moment, because I know when I work out, and since I'm on 75 hard especially, if I do something that I know I wasn't supposed to do because I have this goal, and I feel like when you have a goal for yourself, you have a contract with yourself, and you are literally going against it each time, going against yourself, and that's why it doesn't work out for you. And that's why you feel those emotions. Those emotions aren't you, it's what you're feeling from your actions. Just change your actions, that won't be how you're feeling. You know what I mean? That's how I stay disconnected from my emotions in that way. But what I'm saying is like, if I were to eat that ice cream, I know the next day I would have been like, oh, my tummy hurts. Oh, I don't feel it. I feel this, I feel that, because I don't eat dairy and I don't eat bread. I don't eat meat a lot at all. And I really haven't been. When I do, I feel sick because I don't eat it, and I'm trying to transition right back into alkaline vegan again. So yeah, and it was a hard time for me even coming down off of being alkaline vegan when I was trying to eat meat. That was the worst thing ever. Like, if I go fully alkaline vegan again, I will never try to eat meat again, because that was the worst thing. Okay, I keep getting distracted because I'm high as fuck. But yes, I know how I would feel the next day. So it's like I needed to be intentional about my decisions. And truly, I think my relationship with food, through having an eating disorder to now having PCOS and then stress eating at one point, my relationship with food has been up and down. And I feel like through learning how to be intentional with my food and how I am, and having a healthy relationship, has also taught me to be intentional with my body and intentional about what's around me. And I think that's another way. I think you learn to be intentional in very tiny ways, and then just try to apply it to bigger things in your life. Being intentional will take you far. It'll help you meet people that you're supposed to meet. Because just imagine the rooms you want to be in. And I'm not saying everybody doesn't have their shit. We're all human. We're all important. We all have shit going on. We all have emotions. But I think people that are in certain rooms that you want to be in, I think through their hard work, dedication, consistency, work ethic, they have also had to learn that with their emotions as well, and being intentional with their emotions. And they are able to receive certain things, or do certain things and be cordial and still live their lives in the settings that they're in. And that's why they're in the settings that they're in. That's why they're in the places that they're in. Do you think that people that are highly reactive and people that do whatever and don't take their goals seriously and don't take themselves seriously, do you think that they're in important places that you want to be in? And when I say important, I don't mean any type of class, any type of anything. I don't mean celebrity. I mean whatever you think is the most important thing. You could be wanting to be a farmer. That's important to you. Do you think people that are intentional about being a farmer, people that are intentional about growing their own and giving back to their community, react the way you do if it's certain things that you do? Or do you think it keeps them from where they want to be? Because if you react emotionally in ways that are in your personal life, you'll definitely do it in your work life. You'll definitely do it in your work life. And when you are not getting to that helps you as well, when you are learning to be intentional with your emotions, to regulate when you hear something you don't want to hear, receive criticism that you didn't expect to receive, or if you fail at something that you have to now do again. It'll help you to receive that within work as well. And I think that's important. And I feel like whatever you think is important for you is a passion of yours. How passionate are you about that to not become so passionate about other shit that won't lead you anywhere? How badly do you want your dream body? How badly do you want this dream life? How badly do you want this person? How badly do you want this thing? How badly do you want it? And how will you get there? And what will you be self-aware about? And what do you need to get to the root to? And how will you change? How will you explore yourself? How will you become more authentic, in tune, and connected? You know what I mean? So I feel like being intentional is definitely number one. You're intentional about shit, you'll be intentional about everything. Just take a minute, take a breather. But yeah.